Chapter 16. Sancho's journey, the pretend pilgrims, terror underground, departure from the castle, and stampeding cattle. Lots happening in this chapter. Yes? Oh, before completing this? From 14. Right. So I'm going to, I'll get you if you want to make that up. Just jump into lesson 16. Okay? So I'll go to what happened. Okay. So in chapter 15, we saw Sancho had a bit of a problem, right? What was the issue with the bridge? There was a bridge, and you could only cross if you told the truth. And a guy came and said, "Oh, I'm going to cross the bridge to be hung at the gallows." And they were like, "Okay, well now we're stuck, because if we hang you, that would be wrong, because you might be telling the truth. But if we let you go, then you're not going to be hung at the gallows, and then we'll make you a liar. So what do we do?" Right? That was the perplexing case he had to solve. What did Sancho decide? The choices were either let the man pass, okay, let the man pass over the bridge and go free, basically, which would make him into a liar, or hang him for telling him a lie, even though he may have actually been telling the truth. What did they try to do? And there's a reason why. Ian?
They decided to not let him cross the bridge, but not hang him.
To not let him cross the bridge, but not hang him? So he couldn't cross the bridge at all? You're sort of on the right track. Basically, Sancho says, my master told me that the more merciful, whenever you're stuck between two hard choices, always choose the more merciful option. Okay? Okay, I'm not going to read that first. Okay? Always choose the more merciful option. Okay? So they end up letting the man go free, and he doesn't have any problems or anything like that. How did Sancho respond to the attack on his village, on his island? With a picture to kind of remind you. How did Sancho respond to the attack on his village? Aiden?
He hated it so much that he was crying and then he went out.
Yes. He hated it so much, he was crying, and he finally said, you know what, this is not for me. He goes to Sancho the next morning and to Dapple and his donkey and tears and decides, you know what, this governorship, this thing, it just ain't for me. Okay? So now we're on chapter 16. Yes?
Dapple looks so cute in that picture.
Yes, he's very cute. Chapter 16. Sancho's journey, the 10 pilgrims, terror underground, departure from the castle, and stampeding cattle. Sancho set off to find Don Quixote, whose company he now thought was better than any governorship. He had not gone far when he met a dozen sturdy men who looked to be pilgrims, and who made signs to him that they wanted charity. Basically, they wanted him to give them money, like a beggar, almost. He took the bread and cheese he had in his pouch and gave them half of each, but they made more signs demanding money. Sancho gestured to show that he had not a penny, and was about to ride away from them, when one of the band threw his arms around him and said in plain Spanish, "Why, it's our good friend Sancho Panza, as I am alive and awake." Sancho looked hard, but could not recognize the man. "What?" said the stranger. "Don't you know me? Ricote de Morisco, a shopkeeper in your town?" Sancho looked again, and saw that it was indeed his friend Ricote, disguised as a pilgrim. "Why, who would recognize you in this disguise? How is it you are in Spain again after the king's proclamation? It will go hard on you if you are discovered, in spite of the pilgrim's clothes that you wear." "The edict is cruelly hard on us," answered the man. "What is the edict?" Someone read that over for me. Matthew?
Edict, a decree by King Joseph V in 1525 that expelled all people of the Moors and the street from Spain.
Good. So his has to do with the people of the Moors. It's a people group, basically. So these certain people were banished from Spain. So the only reason this Ricote guy is able to stay there right now is he's under disguise as a pilgrim. Venus is cruelly hard on us," answered the man, "but I am safe enough with you. And as for others, they are not likely to recognize me in this disguise." When the edict came out, I made haste to save what I could and seek a new home in another land. Thank you. First, I went to France and then Germany, where I have decided to make my home near Augsburg. I have returned in this disguise in order to recover some treasure I buried before fleeing, and to bring my wife and daughter away with me. Riccardo de Mauricio then suggested that Sancho come along to help him, promising to reward him generously if he would. But Sancho declined. He was bent on returning to his master. He agreed to accompany his friends to some nearby woods, however, where the pilgrim party had set up a camp and joined in a feast that was being prepared. There was plenty of food and wine, and Sancho enjoyed himself for many hours in excellent company. It was very late, and after a long nap that he finally parted from his friend. He had not gone far when he began to feel very sleepy and heavy, due mainly to the good cheer he had drunk with the pilgrims, and also because the night was warm. So, Sancho, decided to sleep under the stars, even though he wasn't far from the castle where he expected to find Don Quixote. But as he left the road to find a resting place among some bushes, Dapple fell into a concealed pit, and down went man and beast to the bottom. Fortunately, the hole was not very deep, and no harm was done, but it was deep enough to prevent the possibility of climbing back out. Sancho only realized it after spending a long time groping along the sides of the hole in the dark. At last he gave up, hoping to be able to see a way out once there was daylight. Okay, so look at the picture. There was kind of almost like a trap, and it just covered up this hidden hole in the ground. And all of a sudden, as they're walking along, Dapple falls, he walks over the top of the hidden hole, the trap, and falls down into the pit, him and Sancho. And now they're stuck in this hole. He can't get out by himself, so he just has to stay there for the night. When morning came at last, Sancho found a crevice in the side of the pit that seemed to lead somewhere. With difficulty he crawled through it and found himself in a spacious cavern. What's a cavern? A spacious cavern. Riley?
It's like a cave kind of?
Yeah, in a cave. So he found himself in an underground cave, dimly lit from cracks in the ceiling. From here, there were other passages that branched off. Sancho had no choice but to follow one of these routes. But first, holding only with his hands, he was able to enlarge the crevice, or the crack, so he kind of dug his way through and made it bigger, enough to allow Dapple to get through. So now Sancho and his donkey are kind of crawling through these cracks and passages underground, trying to find a way out. Long, weary, and fearful was their journey through the dark and winding passages of the cave. The floor was rugged, and Sancho's imagination dwelt on the danger of falling again into a deeper level of the cavern, and on dreadful ghosts his superstitious mind had hinted. "Heaven protect me," he said once aloud. "If only this terrible mishap had happened to my master, he would think the whole thing was a great adventure. He would have filled these dungeons with magicians and knights and damsels. Instead, I tremble in every limb because of this darkness and the unknown things that surround me, the chicken-hearted soul that I am." Thus he went on, voicing his despair for some time, making what speed he could through the passages. At last he was cheered up to see light ahead that seemed to come from some opening in the cavern in the world above. He hurried on and discovered that the opening was too highly reachable. He shouted and shouted as loudly as he could, "Hello! Hello! Is there any Christian up there who can save the poor sinner from being buried alive?" He was overjoyed to hear a prompt response, one he hardly expected, and still more astonished and delighted to recognize the voice of his master, asking who he was and what was the matter. So now you can imagine Don Quixote is walking along, above ground, just walking along one day, and all of a sudden he hears this voice from the ground, "Whoa! Whoa! Is it around here? Whoa!" Don Quixote is like, "Yes? Where are you?" The fact was that Sancho and his underground wanderings had all this while been progressing towards the castle where Don Quixote had been staying for so long. The knight happened to be taking his morning exercise when Sancho's shout attracted his attention. It was with considerable consternation, with a look of consternation, so I'm showing. Yeah, like that. Kind of confused, frustrated, like, what's going on? It was with considerable consternation that he heard the name and recognized the voice of the underground prisoner as that of his squire. He thought Sancho must have died and was calling to him from purgatory. What is purgatory? Micah?
Purgatory. In Roman Catholic teaching, it is day-flat souls destined for heaven first. Enter after death, so we will be purified of our sins.
So he thinks Sancho's already died, and his ghost basically is calling him from purgatory. If, said Don Quixote, if you really are my late squire, Sancho Panza, and by God's special mercy you are not actually in hell but in purgatory, and you wish for prayers for your release, I will spare nothing to help you. Well, I am your squire, Sancho Panza, sure enough, Sancho replied, and I'm not dead, but I'm alive. Last night, Dapple and I... Oh, by the way, I quit the governorship in Barataria for reasons that I'll explain to you later. But Dapple and I fell into a pit, and we've been wandering around the underground passages ever since then. Just then, Dapple brayed so loudly and clearly that the ground trembled. That's enough, yelled Don Quixote, who's thoroughly freaked out. I see it on purgatory, but I see you are actually a living Sancho and a living donkey. Be patient while I run back to the castle to fetch help. Don Quixote lost no time in telling the Duke and Duchess about Sancho's predicament, and a rescue party was sent out. The pit was well known on the estate, and in a very short time, with the help of ropes and pulleys, Sancho and Dapple were pulled out and taken to the castle. Thank goodness, right? Later in the day, Sancho had an audience with his hosts, and then told them how he fell into the pit, and explained why he remained in his government. Your Grace has made me governor of Barataria because I deserved it, he said. But, not because I deserved it, he said, but because it pleased you to do so. Naked I entered upon it, and naked I came out. Now, did he actually mean that literally?
No.
Now, what did he mean by that? Naked I came upon it, and naked I entered out. Matthew?
He entered with no money, and he exited with no money.
Very good. I heard cases and gave decisions, all the while suffering from hunger and thirst. We were attacked at night and put in great danger, but we beat our enemies off, or at least that's what I was told. However, all things considered, I came to the conclusion that government is not my line. So I gave it up. And yesterday, Dapple and I left Barataria, leaving things no better and no worse than before. So here I am, condemning governments of all kinds, and content to go back to being my master's squire. This is a summary of Sancho's long remarks, at the end of which the Duke hugged him, said he was a worthy fellow, and promised to give him a place under the estates that was less perilous than being governor. The Duchess was equally kind. Don Quixote now thought it was time to end his visit, and he took the opportunity to ask his host permission to leave. His request was granted with polite expressions of regret. What do you mean? What are polite expressions of regret? Micah?
It's like, oh, you really need the chance.
It's so sad. No, don't leave. We'll miss you so much. Oh, sad to hear that. Early the next morning, he sallied forth completely armed, mounted on his steed Rocinante, with Sancho following on Dapple, and well supplied with food, of course. The Duke and Duchess saw him off from the courtyard. Don Quixote courteously waved his lance and bowed his head, and then rode away, looking gallant into the open country to the cheers of those whom he had so long unwittingly amused. Did Don Quixote know that he was just there as an entertainment for these people? No, that's what unwittingly means. He still had no idea that they were playing a trick on him. He just was just being happy with himself. Liberty, friend Sancho, he remarked, after they had gone a little way, is a great thing in itself, one of the most precious of all human blessings. Ease, luxury, abundance, they are all very well, but when they are due to the hospitality or kindness of others that one cannot return, there is a sense of burden that comes with them that is not agreeable to sensitive minds. Happier is the man who eats his crust of bread by the side of stream without feeling he owes anything for it to anyone. All the same, said Sancho, give me the well-stocked cupboard and the snug bed of the castle. I will be happy enough with them. But even without them, I am happy enough with these well-filled bags of food and this purse with 200 gold crowns in it that the Duke's steward gave me as a parting gift from his master. The castle was good enough for me, and I'm afraid we're not going to find us good quarters elsewhere. Instead, we're going to come up on poor roadside inns, bad food, and rough treatment. As the knight and his squire talked on, they passed into a forest where they came upon a fashionable party from the nearby town, picnicking and enjoying themselves at all sorts of sports and games. They had pitched large tents by the side of the stream, and were pretending to be shepherd and shepherdesses. They gave the newcomers a hearty welcome, but as soon as they learned that their visitors were none other than the famous knight of La Mancha and his squire, nothing could restrain their pleasure and friendliness. They invited them to stay for a feast that was about to take place in the largest tent, and neither the knight nor the squire could think of a reason to decline. Don Quixote, despite his protests, was forced to sit in the place of honor, while Sancho glided down the table to where he was better able to help himself to the food. The knight proved immensely entertaining to the party during supper, giving his unusual views through lofty lectures on ordinary and not-so-ordinary subjects. At the end of the feast, Don Quixote formally and gracefully thanked his hosts for their favors and the honor they did him. He launched into an eloquent speech on the gratitude due to those who show kindness to strangers. For my part, he concluded, I feel bound to show my gratitude for such friendly entertainment in the only way in my power. Therefore, I have resolved to hold the highway near here for 2 days against all who travel it, and compel them to acknowledge that the lady shepherdesses here around me are the most beautiful damsels in the world, except, of course, for Dulcinea del Toboso. He said, you know what I really need to thank you guys for having me here for dinner and for throwing a party for us? I'm going to stand here by the highway, and I'm going to tell every single person that comes by here to say that your shepherdesses are the most beautiful in the entire world. Except for Dulcinea, of course. They're like, thanks, I think. This idea alarmed the party, but amused them as well. They tried to turn him away from his insane plan, and the shepherdesses told him he need not go so far in return of the small kindnesses they had shown him. They're like, that's unnecessary. Please don't do that. But it was all for nothing. He was firm in his decision, and, mounting Rocinante, lance in hand, he went off to the highway leading to Saragossa and waited in the middle of the road. After a while, a bustling crowd of men came along, herding a mob of cattle to a town not far away, where there was to be a bullfight in a day or two. As they came near and saw the knight blocking the road, they shouted, "Out of the way, fool! Do you want to be gored and trampled to death by these bulls? Rogues, answered Don Quixote. I do not fear your bulls, though they are the fiercest that ever bellowed. Admit it at once, you scoundrels, the lady of this grove are the most beautiful and graceful of all other ladies, or accept my challenge to battle. The herdsman had no time for such nonsensical talk from the strange man in the road, and before anything more could be done, the herd of cattle overwhelmed Don Quixote and Rocinante and Sancho and Dapple and trampled them heedlessly into the dust and passed on their way. So, here's the visual, right? Don Quixote says, you must declare that the most beautiful or you shall not pass. And then instantly he gets trampled by cattle. So that didn't work very well. But no serious injury was done to any of them, and soon Don Quixote was on his feet, running after the herdsman, roaring as loudly as he could. Stop, you rascals! Turn and face me, single-handed as I am! But the herdsman just ignored him, or perhaps didn't even hear him, and continued on. Don Quixote chased after him until he was exhausted. Finally, he gave up on the pursuit and returned to his squire walking slowly and dejectedly. He abandoned his plan to hold the road, and, mounting Rocinante and followed by Sancho, they rode sadly away, saying nothing to the party in the woods. In a little while, they came to a clear spring in a shady grove, and there they tried to clean themselves of the dirt they had recently acquired. Sancho proposed that they eat something, of course, but the knight was too oppressed to eat. You eat, friend Sancho, he said, and let me die in my grief. Here I am, famous in history, renowned for courtesy and chivalry, sought after by princes, beloved by fair damsels, yet instead of the trophies my exploits deserve, I am trampled into the dust of the road by the hoofs of filthy cattle. Eat? Never! Let cruel starvation bring death. It is curious, sir, said Sancho soothingly, how different people feel or see a thing in totally different ways. To me, it appears that the best answer to our little mishap is a good meal and a nice nap on the soft green mattress around us. I am sure, sir, if you would only try this remedy, you would wake up feeling like a new man. Finally, the knight gave in to Sancho's persuasion and ate just a little bit. If, oh Sancho, he said, you would do as I asked, my sorrows would be greatly relieved and I could sleep soundly. What I want is your promise that while I rest here, you will go into the woods and, with Rocinante's reins, give your naked flesh, 300 or 400 lashes as an installment, which are long overdue, by the way, of the 3,000 you agreed to endure in order to free Dulcinea from enchantment. Whoopsie. No, Sancho. Hold on a second. I wish, like your honor, said Sancho, replied, to enjoy a good sleep. And what you suggest doesn't really agree with that. There may be things to be said in favor of flogging. Everything has its time and place. But lashing oneself in cold blood, as it were, is not really an appealing pastime, especially to someone who has such tender skin as mine. So what I say is, let us both settle down to sleep, and afterwards, trust heaven for guidance. Her ladyship will have to have more patience, and perhaps someday, when she least expects it, she may see a lavish look of stripes on my back. For I do mean to make good on my promise sooner or later. What does Sancho say? Don Quixote says, you know what, I would feel better if you would go and give yourself, 3 or 400 of those lashes you promised. What does Sancho say? Micah?
He said, no, I don't want to do that. I want to sleep. And those are more than have to wait. I'll do it later.
I'll do it later? I'll do it, but I ain't going to do it right now. Don Quixote was not pleased, but he had to content himself for the time being with this vague promise. He pressed the matter no further, and soon both the knight and squire were fully enjoying their naps. Tomorrow, we'll see what the next adventure is.
Arthur's too scared. Arthur could just go this.
He said he could feel himself as hard as he wanted.